Roller coasters are the theme park rides. They're tall, fast, and most of all, thrilling. When we visit theme parks, we usually see just one name on the gate: Universal, Disney, Dollywood if you're lucky. But who actually built this star attraction? Who built the roller coaster? Well, often it wasn't the theme park themselves. Roller coasters and amusement rides are just like everything else in this world. They're a product. You could go out and buy one if you had a lot of money and a decent plot of empty land. The world's biggest and best theme parks don't just buy roller coasters off the shelf though. They partner with roller coaster manufacturers, companies whose main ambition is to build the world's best roller coasters. Here's the thing, not all roller coaster companies are the same. Vekoma, the manufacturer behind Tron at Walt Disney World, is very different to Intamin, the company behind Velocicoaster at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. Why? Well, the fundamental design of the business is different. Yes, they produce the same type of product, but they go about doing so in completely different ways. We can broadly place most roller coaster manufacturers into three styles: vertical integration, horizontal integration, and niche, or perhaps it's niche for you. Each style of roller coaster company has different strengths and helps to explain more about why each manufacturer builds what they do. So, who actually makes roller coasters? Let's find out. To properly appreciate the nuance, we all need a crash course in roller coaster design. The most important thing to remember is that roller coasters are complicated. You can't just draw a squiggly line, bend some steel, and send guests round. Each roller coaster has been meticulously designed so that it is safe. Safe in terms of the structure, and safe in terms of what it does to the guests on board. So, what's step 1? Roller coaster manufacturers work with their clients, the theme parks, to flesh out their ideas and concepts for the new ride. During this phase, design engineers begin to propose layouts that the ride could follow. Each layout goes through rigorous force analysis, which tests whether the G-forces exerted would be in the safe range for us humans to experience. For example, ensuring the track is banked enough during high-speed turns. Unfortunately for everyone, roller coasters can't float in mid-air. So these ride layouts are sent to structural engineers, who design the ride support structure so that it can hold the weight of the track, the trains flying around the circuit, and the guests within those trains. Once the ride is designed, it's time to turn it into a reality. So we move on to fabrication. Steel for the ride's track is cut to size, bent into shape, and then welded together to form track segments. That process is also repeated for the support elements, and at the same time, the chassis for the ride's trains are also built. It's all pretty simple stuff, really. Now we have the parts, it's time to piece it all together. The track, supports, and trains are all shipped to the theme park. Then begins a giant jigsaw puzzle. Huge cranes lift support columns and track segments into place. These are then bolted together one by one. Shortly after, the ride's lift motors, launch systems, and brakes will also be installed. Then, slowly, over the course of a few months, the individual pieces look more and more like a proper roller coaster. Once it's all built, the ride's designer is sent around the track as a human test dummy to see if they make it back alive. Wait, no, actually, it says here that the roller coaster then goes through a rigorous regime of testing before it can be ridden by actual real-life living people. This often involves filling the ride vehicles with water dummies and sending them around the track. On the dummies are G-force sensors, which monitor the forces exerted by the ride to see if it matched the intended design. Some roller coaster manufacturers might also conduct a pull-through test. This is where the train is slowly and manually pulled through the entire layout to check guests can't touch any of their nearby surroundings while they're whizzing around. Once the ride's manufacturer is happy with the new roller coaster and happy with the training regime implemented by the park itself, they'll then hand over control of the new attraction to the theme park. Only then can it be open to the general public. Roller coasters, like cars, require regular maintenance. theme parks will contact the ride's manufacturer for parts, like sensors or new wheels, and so on. This ensures everything is kept in tip-top shape for future riders. Some types of roller coasters are yet to be designed. Exciting! Whether it's to meet the very specific requirements of a theme park or to offer a new product in their ride lineup, roller coaster manufacturers are continuously spending time and effort researching and developing new roller coaster types. See, someone a while ago thought, instead of sitting above the track, maybe we could all sit beside it. Genius! For each new ride type, manufacturers will go through several rounds of research and prototyping, slowly iterating towards a fully fledged new idea. And that's it. That is the entire process of building a roller coaster, give or take. Now that we know what it takes to make these headline rides, let's dive back into the different types of roller coaster companies and some examples of each. Vertically integrated companies often handle most, if not all aspects of a project in-house. A great example in the non-roller coaster world is Apple. They design the phone, create the software, and produce the apps. This gives them direct control over every single step of the process, leading to a more consistent product overall. In our roller coaster world, the same is true. For example, Dutch roller coaster giant Vekoma is a vertically integrated company. Vekoma is well known for their big-name rides, including Expedition Everest at Disney's Animal Kingdom and the previously mentioned Tron at Magic Kingdom 2. They're also slightly infamous for making the vast majority of rides that look like this. We call them boomerangs. When it comes to roller coasters, Vekoma provides support across all areas. They design their own layouts through a dedicated engineering team. They also have huge factories around the world, allowing them to fabricate their own track and trains from scratch. Vekoma also provides installation, commissioning, and testing support alongside after-sales care too. Essentially, they do everything. From a theme park's point of view, this all sounds great. Vekoma will guide you throughout the entire process, ultimately providing a consistent and quality product at a reasonable cost. However, there can be drawbacks. Being a one-stop shop requires a lot of time, money, and expertise. To operate properly, Vekoma must train people on all aspects of their business, from layout design and fabrication all the way to testing. That is no small task. On top of this, making new types of roller coasters is difficult. To do so, Vekoma needs to purchase all of the necessary machinery and equipment required upfront at huge expense, leading to less flexibility. As a result, vertically integrated businesses can take time to introduce changes or debut new, innovative products. Not that this has stopped Vekoma, however. They're on a bit of a roll, having recently debuted the next generation of flying coaster, introduced a new style of spinning coaster, and revived the classic tilt coaster, all within the last 5 years or so. Vekoma isn't the only vertically integrated roller coaster manufacturer, however. Others include Muck Rides and Rocky Mountain Construction. Muck Rides have built many highly rated roller coasters, such as the new Stardust Races at Universal's Epic Universe, as well as Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland Japan and Hyperia at Thorpe Park. Like Vekoma, Muck Rides cover all aspects of the roller coaster business. In fact, the vast majority of their ride components are built in just one factory, based in Weidkirch, Germany. And a stone's throw away from their factory is Europa Park, Muck Ride's very own theme park. You guessed it, full of their very own rides. Surely it doesn't get more vertically integrated than being your own customer. Rocky Mountain Construction, known more commonly as RMC, is similar but slightly different. Unlike Vekoma and Muck Rides, RMC don't actually design the layouts for their roller coasters themselves. Instead, they commission an external company, Ride Centerline, to do this for them. Ride Centerlines specialize in roller coaster engineering, making them perfectly placed to design RMC's layouts. However, while most roller coaster manufacturers only oversee the construction of their roller coasters on site, RMC actually builds them. To do so, Rocky Mountain Construction employees fly all over the world, piecing their rides together bit by bit. Talk about dedication. The roller coaster business is inherently niche. There's only so many customers in the world that can afford the cost of a giant amusement ride. Unsurprisingly, most roller coaster manufacturers also operate using a niche business structure. Rather than control all aspects of the project, these companies tend to excel at a few specific elements instead. Often, this enables them to offer a product or service that is unique to them, such as roller coasters. A well-known example of a niche-style roller coaster manufacturer is Bolliger & Mabillard, called B&M for short. As a business, B&M offer only a handful of services. The company designs their own roller coaster layouts and engineers their projects in-house. They also have their own R&D, research and development department, to produce new styles of rides. Apart from testing, commissioning, and after-sales support, that's mostly it. B&M don't fabricate their own track. Instead, they subcontract that out to Clermont Steel Fabricators, a company in Ohio, USA. Nor do B&M help piece the ride together on site. That's usually done by the park's own choice of construction company. This business structure has its positives and negatives. On the one hand, B&M has the ability to innovate. They don't need to reskill employees or buy new machinery, they'll rely on other companies to find a way for them. However, this can come at a cost. B&M don't have control over every part of the ride's construction. If the quality of one aspect of their supply chain falls, the quality of their overall product also falls. Likewise, if Clermont Steel Fabricators raise the price of manufacturing, B&M must suffer that cost increase. Fortunately, since their beginning, B&M have managed to balance innovation with quality. That is their USP. Many of their ride types, like the inverted roller coaster or the wing coaster, are the best, if not the only ones in their class. Their niche business has enabled them to both innovate and refine the design of their roller coasters. This isn't the approach for all niche-style ride manufacturers, however. Take Intamin, another roller coaster company. They're famous for rides such as Velocicoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure, Millennium Force at Cedar Point, and the world's new, tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster, Falcon's Flight at Six Flags Qiddiya. Given that last one, it might not be difficult to guess Intamin's niche. The company has centered their entire identity around pushing boundaries. They've built 6 of the 10 world's current tallest roller coasters and 6 of the 10 world's current fastest roller coasters. Intamin push limits. However, instead of building every aspect of the roller coaster themselves, they rely on a network of partners to get the job done. For example, Intamin do design the ride layouts themselves. However, track profiling and structural analysis is subcontracted to Stengel, an engineering firm focused on roller coaster design. The fabrication of Intamin's track and trains are primarily subcontracted to Stakotra, a manufacturing firm based in Slovakia and Budapest. And it's a similar story for their other roller coaster parts too, including control systems, magnetic launch components, hydraulic systems, and more. Aside from layout design, Intamin do have their own R&D department and offer after-sales support services too. However, it's the reliance on a list of subcontractors that allow them to innovate at such a rapid pace. Intamin aren't limited by the ability of just one factory, but instead benefit from the breadth of existing talent other businesses can offer. Given that, it's no wonder they were chosen to build a multi-world record-breaking ride. We can get even more niche. The world of roller coaster manufacturers is small. The world of wooden roller coaster manufacturers is even smaller. It really boils down to just 2 popular companies, Great Coasters International and the Gravity Group. The first of our 2 companies, Great Coasters International, known mostly as GCI, have been building wooden rides for over 3 decades and have mastered this art. They built Thunderhead at Dollywood, Wickerman at Alton Towers, and Wodan at Europa Park. But making wooden roller coasters is quite different compared to their steel counterparts. With steel rides, their track and support columns are fabricated in a factory before being assembled together at the theme park like a giant jigsaw. Wooden roller coasters are different. Most are built entirely from scratch at the theme park itself. Specialist carpenters cut, nail, and lift supports one by one before fabricating the track one wooden plank at a time. This takes a very different, very specific kind of skill. While GCI do build their own rides at the theme park, they don't design their own layouts. That's done by Skyline Attractions. They do fabricate their own trains and provide after-service support once the ride is up and running. Our second wooden roller coaster company, the Gravity Group, is slightly different, and so are their rides. The Gravity Group is famous for building The Voyage at Holiday World, Leviathan at SeaWorld Australia, and Kuka Lane at Emerald Park. Unlike GCI, they handle all of the design and engineering aspects of the project in-house. This includes the fabrication of more specialized track pieces, such as their engineered pre-cut track, as well as the trains built by their own subsidiary company, the Gravitycraft Corporation. The Gravity Group do also build some of their rides on site themselves. However, they have also been known to regularly subcontract the construction to another company, Martin and Vlemmings, who specialize in installing roller coasters. In the world of roller coasters, horizontally integrated businesses are less common. It usually involves two or more companies merging. Each company tends to benefit from the merger by reducing overlap and expanding the products and services they offer. One example of a horizontally integrated roller coaster manufacturer is Sansei Technologies, who, for most of their history, had primarily been building roller coasters in Japan. However, in 2012, they bought United States amusement ride firm S&S Worldwide. And prior to that, S&S Worldwide themselves had previously acquired the rights to former roller coaster manufacturer Aerodynamics after their bankruptcy in 2001. This gave S&S Worldwide the ability to produce new parts for old Aerodynamics rides and continue to build roller coasters from their legendary portfolio, including the menacing 4D roller coaster. After buying S&S Worldwide in 2012, Sansei Technologies later went on to acquire Vekoma in 2018. Yeah, that roller coaster manufacturer from the beginning. Ultimately, this now gives Sansei Technologies the ability to offer prospective theme parks a huge range of rides, including the roller coasters from Vekoma's portfolio, the rides from S&S Worldwide, and the legacy designs from Aerodynamics. In the world of roller coasters, one company acquiring the rights to a previously bankrupt manufacturer is a common theme. Chance Rides bought the assets to D.H. Morgan Manufacturing in 2001, while Zamperla acquired the rights to SDC and Revachon after their bankruptcies too. This is all great and important knowledge, but what does it actually all mean in practice? Well, the diversity of roller coaster manufacturers gives theme parks optionality, a choice. For example, let's say you're Disney World. You want an end-to-end product that can be tweaked to your desire and be built to a high specification. To get that, you call Vekoma. Their vertical integration means they can handle the full job. Disney only needs to interact with one company for their roller coaster needs. It's not that surprising that this happens in real life. Most Disney roller coasters around the world were built by Vekoma, like both Rock 'n' Roller Coasters, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and many, many more. Now, let's imagine you're a theme park that really wants to stand out. You need people to crave visiting. You need a record-breaking ride, something fresh and new. Simple. Speak to Intamin. Their niche design allows them to test the limits of roller coaster design. This is exactly what Cedar Point did several times over and over. They called Intamin to build Millennium Force, the world's tallest roller coaster at the time. They then called Intamin again to construct the original Top Thrill Dragster, the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster at the time, and called Intamin shortly after to debut Maverick, the next generation of launch coaster which is all the rage today. All of it, Intamin. Maybe you're a theme park that doesn't really know what your next ride is, but you'd appreciate a lot of choice. The massive suite of rides on offer from Sansei Technologies could be for you. You could build a whole new area with a roller coaster from Vekoma and other accompanying rides from S&S Worldwide all in one go. Efficient. Ultimately, for theme parks, all of this variation increases their options. This, in turn, often increases the quality of the rides theme parks are able to produce, given there's more room for competition. That, in turn, leads to better roller coasters for us to experience. And who doesn't want that? But if it were up to you to build a new roller coaster, which manufacturer would you turn to? Would Muck Rides be your choice? Or maybe you're more of a B&M person? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.